Hello guys, and welcome back to my next tutorial. In this one we're going to be looking at this cursor decal. This is a subscriber request, and yeah, let's get into it. Now this little decal is actually part of the top down template. If you go to add new, add feature content pack, and top down, and you add that to project, and you should get it with it. Now this is actually Decal Component, which means that we can actually customize it a little bit. So we go to here. This is what we're going to be changing. We're going to be importing a new texture from Blender into here. So let's get into this. So go to Blender, and this is what you should see when you first open it up. I'm going to get rid of everything, and you see this cursor. This is where everything's going to start spawning in. So Shift A, and you want a plane. Go to 5 on your numpad and then click 7 to go to top down. And now what we want to do is going to tab to go into edit mode, or you can change it over here. Go to edge select or press 2 on your keypad at the top, not the numpad on your right, and you just want to select these 3 edges. Click X and you should get this, and just select edges. Click on this edge, select one on your keypad at the top, and just select this one on the left. G to move it, X to lock it to the X axis, and Shift and Control to fine tune it. Now we want a modifier on this, so go over here and go to screw, and you can see what that's done. That's just screwed it along an axis. I'm going to increase this step to 28, and you can see what that's done. Now go back to object mode, and I think we want just one more object. So selecting the plane, scale it in. I'm going to make this sort of like an inner reticle. So move it up there, S to scale, and S to scale, X to lock it to the X axis. I'm just going to scale it in like that. Now I want this to go around like that. To do that, we need to add in an array modifier, and you can just see that this is just going to make it go across an axis. We don't want that. So go back to your object mode tab, your editor, Shift A to add a new one, and you want a empty plane axis. We now go back to the plane, go to relative offset, and you just want to disable that, and you want to enable object offset, and select your empty object there. Now you can see what's happened here is it's changed it a little bit, so yeah, we don't want that either. For the time being, go down to 1 for the count. I'm just going to scale mine in the Y axis just a little bit before we do this. Now Control and A for transforms, and you can see when we increase the set counter and rotate this, let's say 270. Okay, I missed one. There we go. You can kind of see what it's doing there, and we can Shift D to duplicate, move it upwards on the Y axis, and then Control A for transforms, and you can see what we've done there. Now, how do we take this from Blender into Unreal Engine? To do that, we need to make this all one object, and then we need to be able to separate out the different components into RGB channels so we can animate them differently, and sort out the opacity mask as well. That's quite a big task. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to apply the modifiers before we combine the objects. And you can see now I can safely delete this, and it won't affect it. Now, select all the objects, Control J to join them all together, and you can see that it all moves as one. Now we need to go down to the Material tab, add new, and this is going to be our diffuse shader. I say diffuse, but it's also going to act as our opacity mask as well. If my laptop will actually respond. Come on. You can do it. Come on. There we go. We want to change this from a principal BSDF to an emission, even though this is not going to be used at all for emitting. It's going to purely be used for something else. There we go, emission. And we're going to go to the shading tab. Come on. Wait, no, what we need to do is we need to set the UV coordinates appropriately first. But I can't do that anyway. What you want to do is, okay, there we go, UV editing. To face select, UV, smart UV project, and you can see what that's done. I'm not entirely happy with that. I think these can all share the same space. So I'm just going to go wrap. Oh, not. Smart UV. Actually, project from view. There we go. Select all these first, project from view, and there we go. Let's get these up. If yours has kind of got screwed over, there we go. And now we want to go to the texture paint tab, and we want a new, and I'm going to call mine inner ring, inner. Yeah, I'm just going to call mine inner for now. Divide this by 2. We're going to use these as a mask for the RGB channels later. You could do this mathematically through code, but I'm just showing you the easier way. Alpha. Do we want the alpha yet? Yeah, let's go with alpha. And what we want is only select the faces that we only to paint on the faces that we want, which is this little thing up here. If it's blue, then it only paints on the faces that we've selected. And here, we just want to select these 4 texture paint, and missing textures. We want to paint a single image, which we can get here. And there we go. If we could do that, or we could just go with the flood fill, and I'll do it as well. And we want a we can get rid of that, and new, and we want to go for ring, UV editing, texture paint, go back here, flood fill, no, it's painting on the wrong one. Click OK, and ring, there we go, get rid of that, new one, and outer. Editing, texture paint, and flood fill. Oh wait, why has it gone back onto alter? I didn't deselect. Fuck. There we go. That's inner. No, bollocks. New ring. Okay, there we go. And you want to change it over here as well to ring. the editing. Hold on one moment. Okay, so go back, go to Blender and select these 4 faces. Go back to texture painting. Make sure that you select the right image to paint on. Alter. Select here. Alter. There we go. Go to shading now, and we want 3 image textures. And yeah, we want Control A and Converter, combine RGB. Now we want this instead of a normal combine, because when we take this into Unreal, what we can do is we can separate those channels back out and animate them. So this inner, bring and outer. There we go. Okay, and this also stores our alpha information as well. So, texture, image texture, new. We're going to call this Reticle. And go to the Bake tab up here, select it over to Cycles. Find the Bake tab, go from Combined to Emit, and Bake. Make sure you actually select the object first. Bake. Right, as you can see, that's now got our alpha information and our gray information. That's a bit blurry, but for demonstration purposes it'll be fine. If you want it a bit more refined, then just increase the resolutions. Now, go here, image, save as, and reticle.png. Bring over here. I'm hurrying up because I need to grab my dinner. Reticle.png, here it is. I'll show you how to animate it in a different tutorial. Actually, it should be relatively easy. There we go. Go back up here. Damn autosave, I don't have time. Come on. Okay. Make that mini. Drag that in. Come on. Don't have time for you to not respond anymore. Okay, there we go. RGB, there we go. And we can just multiply. What these should do is, and then we want an add, I think. Can I add another pin to that? I don't think I can. Shift W to duplicate, and put that into emissive, and put the alpha from here into the opacity. Yeah. Vector parameter. I'm just going to call this, I'm just going to make an absolute color. You would make individual ones for each one of these, but I'll show you how to animate this in a different tutorial. Total color, I'm going to make this, let's go for a nice turquoise. Now what you should see is when we go back into the editor, when we play it again, what should happen is it should be that reticle, but all the elements should be turquoise. Come on. Come on. Trying to get into the habit of pausing the recording whenever it needs to. And that ain't working. Why isn't that not working? Okay, come back out. Might just be easier if I use the RGB, right? Oh, it's still compiling the shaders, that's why. Okay, so the shaders have finished compiling. There we go. You can see it. It's turquoise. And it's a custom reticle. There we go. And the circle's not appearing. Why? So I'm not using the alpha. I switched it over. Using the RGB. And that's not working. RGBA. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so I had a little look through what was going on, and I just made sure that this definitely has a transparency part to it, which it does. I double checked that, so it's not that. Then I realised that this red channel was also feeding this multiply, it's also feeding the emissive channel. Now you might have noticed already, but that red channel there is also the inner part of the reticle, which was the only thing that was showing up in the last part. So what I've done is I've just gone the alpha and applied that in the definitely right place, which you can do like that. Just hover over it, you don't need to do anything, you just hover over it like that. There we go. So yeah, I'll see you guys when the shaders have fully compiled, so we can test this new way out. Oh yeah, get rid of that. And I've just made it so much worse for myself. Oh no. I'll see you guys when that's disappeared. Okay, let's check if this worked. There we go, that should be working perfectly. No, that's working perfectly. There we go. So that's the actual final that's the final one. Now, total colour. We can actually keep that. Control W. I'm going to call this inner colour. I'm going to rename this from total colour to total tint. Control W and outer ring colour. I'm just going to call it outer colour. And then we replace that with the adds. There we go. Okay. Rotates. I'll sort that out in the next episode. I'll make an update for how to animate this, but for now I think that's kind of do. I've just been watching some Dr. Bob videos while waiting for these shaders to compile. So top-down character, if we click this, then when we go back to the content browser, we go into right click, create material instance, and in here we can actually customize it a lot easier without having to wait for it to compile every single time. Go to here, there should be the one directly underneath. Now, go to here. So inner color, I'm just gonna let's do a nice red. Outer color, I'm gonna call this and the actual ring, I'm gonna 1. So let's save that. Come back out here. And the shaders are still compiling. Alright, I'll pause it while I'm waiting for those. Okay, so it's finally compiled all the shaders. Let's check this out. You can see just about that's tinted the colours. And that's how you customize it within the editor. If you increase these, then it's going to increase the intensity. So if I put that to 10, so then it should be a much. There you go. You can see it a bit more. There we go. That's a bit more visible. There we go. Yeah, that's how you do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you want to see next. Alright, see you guys later. Goodbye.